So today, I'm going to tell you a story about the very first time that I flew first class. And so I'll never forget it because it's one of those things that you just never forget in your life. So I remember, I think I was about 18 or probably 19, 20, around there. I can't remember. I think I was 18. And I was going on vacation back home to the Dominican Republic. And for those of you that don't know, I'm originally from Dominican Republic. What? So anyway, I have this very curious thing. I like to travel, but I just hate being on a plane. There's something about I get a lot of anxiety and motion sickness, right? And I guess something about it terrifies me. So, and you know what? I just always wanted to try it, right? So, I'll never forget, I was 18 years old, and I was looking at the flights to fly first class to the Dominican Republic, and going to the Dominican Republic and coming back, a first class business class ticket was $765. And so it was, but the regular ticket was like $418. And I said to myself, I said, you know what? I'm going to do it because because I want the space. And it was one of those things where, I had the money and I wanted the experience. So I want to tell you guys, if there's ever anything that you want to do in your life, like an experience, something that you want to have, just do it. So anyway, I buy the ticket, RIP my debit card, right? Because I had a debit card. And, there's a wasp nest over here. I've been knocking all these wasp nests down, but they keep coming up. So anyway, I buy the ticket, and the day for me to fly out. So, I do my check-in, and I go through everything, all the security and all that. And when I get there, there's a wasp nest over here. Now I'm a little paranoid. So, I get there, and, man, it was such a surreal experience. And it was Delta Airlines. So I get there to the counter, and if you're Dominican, you know that we like to get there like 2 or 3 hours early. So I go through security. I'm waiting at my gate, and as I'm there, they start calling out the people. They're like, 1 million milers, people that have, a disability. And then finally, they got to the part where they said, alrighty, everyone flying in business and first class. And you know what's so surreal about it was, when they called all of the business and first class travelers, and looking back on it, I kind of look like a hobo. And here's this little brown kid, right? 18 years old. And when they called the first class people, I don't know, I'm like rambling, but when they called all of the first class people, you could see, like, because my connection was from Austin to New York to the Dominican Republic, right? When they called first class passengers, nothing but elderly people, like, well off older people, and like these men in suits. It was like a movie. They had suits, they had ties, they had the little briefcase, they had they look like Wall Street traders and old people is what it looked like. So anyway, I get there, and I had gotten the aisle seat, so we're boarding, right? And you know what I felt was, like, when they scanned my ticket, and I felt like they kind of, like, the gate agent, I felt like she kind of, I want to say she kind of, I don't want to say she looked me down, like, but she was like, this is kind of odd, right? Because it's all of these elderly white people, these guys in suits, and this brown little kid that looks like a hobo. So anyway, we get there, and as I am going there to get to my seat, there's like this Wall Street Wolf of Wall Street type looking dude right in my seat. I think I was like, 3A or something like that. Yeah, I think I was 3A because I remember it. And I remember, I said, "Excuse me, sir, you're in my seat." And when I told him that, he was like, "Oh, my apologies." But he was but when he looked up, his eyes were wide open like this. And I said, "Yeah, you're in my seat." And it was like such a surreal moment. So then anyway, he moved over, right? Like, get over. So anyway, as that's happening, I sit down, and it was such an experience. So I sit down, and you could tell, like, it's just a different experience. As soon as I sit down, they're like, "Sir, would you like water? Would you like orange juice? What would you like to drink?" And I was like, What do you mean? And what would you like to drink before takeoff? And I turn around and everyone's like drinking orange juice or water or something. I'm like, I would like an apple juice. And so I'm like, okay, anywho. So here was the best part. When everybody started loading up, right? Like, I can't describe it. It was like this mist started coming like out from the side. I was like, whoa. It was like a brand new plane too. It was a business class ticket and it was on a brand new plane. And you know what? From that moment on, it's like I felt like I couldn't go back to economy. I felt like I could not go back to economy. And here was my favorite part. So we're up in the air. And they're like, "Mr. Montalvo, yes, what would you like for breakfast?" No, they were like, "Would you like breakfast?" I was like, "Sure, I would like breakfast." And in my mind, I'm kind of thinking like, it's like 7 o'clock in the morning, you're going to give me like a sandwich with ham and cheese, right? And so they come out, the lady comes out, the stewardess lady comes out, and she's like, "Sir, here you go." And she passes me a smoking hot towel. And in my heart, I thought it was like to wipe down the station. And the guy not the guy next to me, but the guy behind me said, "Sir, you're supposed to put that on. You're supposed to the hot towels for your face and for your hand." I was like, "Oh!" So anyway, when they brought me my breakfast, it was like the most delicious. It was to this day I can still remember it. It was like these most delicious. It was the most delicious. I think it was like an omelet sandwich or something like that with juice and all of that. And it was just amazing. It was amazing, and so it was such a great experience. And so, then obviously after that we land, and as we land. It was just so worth it because it's like you're not having to rush, you're not standing up because what are you gonna stand up for? You're already at the front of the line, so like you're not gonna like jump out. And it was such a beautiful experience. And then subsequently I went on my second leg of the trip, and they brought me like this pasta. If I find the pictures, I'm gonna post it here at the ends. Hopefully I still have it, but it was such a beautiful experience. So if you can, and if it's feasible. Now, I'll tell you this. First class isn't always necessary. If you're like, for example, taking one plane there. I think it's more worth it if you're going like a long haul flight, or if you just want to experience it, or, if you have the money to do it, then do it. I mean, I definitely did it because I just wanted the experience, and I just wanted to. And let's be honest, I'm 6'4", almost over 300 pounds, and I'm a big boy. So I just wanted to like experience it. So yeah. More of the story is, to conclude this, is if you have the opportunity to fly first class, do it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think. Have you ever flown first class? Give me a holler for $1. See you later.